Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Holy crap, the altcoin season index just hit 84, the highest this year. So I talked a little bit about this yesterday. As you guys can see, he's also looking at the same altcoin index that I brought up yesterday from, blockchaincenter.net. I will link this in the description of the video. Unfortunately, guys, altcoin season has cooled off a little bit. So now we are at 78. That doesn't mean altcoin season is done. It just means it's cooling off a little bit. Currently, we're going to see ups and downs. We did see that initial spike for altcoins yesterday. Let me bring up the total 3 market cap here. And as you guys can see, we did see another big push to the upside. This is the total 3 on the daily. And the last several days, we've seen a big push to the upside, getting up above the all-time high for altcoins. But guys, we're just kind of tapping out there. So we haven't seen, so that line denotes the former all-time high that we saw back in December of 2024. It's probably important to mention that. And then the high before that, very, very close to that level there, as you guys can see in November of 2021. So now we have officially pierced that level, but we have not gone up above that with conviction. That is going to be the key, seeing that get above that level with conviction. Let's take a look at the total 2. Same thing with the total 2. So that is all altcoins, including Ethereum. And we're seeing a bit of a drawdown now, guys. So we did pierce the level. We did not close above that level, unfortunately. We did pierce the level, but not with conviction. So it looks as though we are just testing these levels in the moment. This is probably why altcoin season is dying down a little bit. Fear and greed, guys, still in neutral territory at 52. So we can see altcoin season coming back a little bit. I think yesterday was at 72. The market cap is down by a little bit. We're still over $4.06 trillion, though. That's a good sign. Bitcoin is down by 0.28%, so not by a lot. And we're probably going to see, it's apparent. We have seen the money coming out of the altcoins at the moment. The altcoins were doing very, very well over the last few days now, but now a sea of red for most altcoins here on the chart. So, it's not the end of altcoin season. Some people are wondering what the heck is going to happen next. CoinsKid here posting this. A quick reminder that retail is not even here yet. So that's the other thing, guys. We are getting to these levels without the retail FOMO. And the retail FOMO is usually spurred on by media news, hype, celebrity endorsements, all that stuff. And it kind of perpetuates this atmosphere where people and their grandmothers, you will know once we hit it, are going to be interested in crypto, and they want to purchase, and they want to, you'll be hearing people come out of the woodwork asking you about cryptocurrency if they know you're already invested. And this is when we know the FOMO is here. So CoinsKid saying, quick reminder, retail is not even here yet. It has been Bitcoin season since early 2023. And if we see the red dot, it will confirm alt season at that point. We should patiently wait for the dumb money to flash sell. So what he's looking at here, we do need that red dot to denote the high. So we have not gotten there yet. Right now, we are just seeing that trajectory to the upside. So those green levels, we've just been trading above those green levels as is denoted in that particular chart. It's still a bit of a wait and see period, guys. We have Bitcoin. Let's just bring up Bitcoin now. Bitcoin is just kind of chilling out up here, just kind of figuring out where it wants to go next. And it feels like it wants to turn around here, although lucky for us, these last 2 days for Bitcoin have not been huge down days, as we did see, for example, right up here, when we did get up to a new all-time high, it was followed by equal selling pressure. So we're not seeing that now. We're seeing renewed interest, but the selling pressure clearly weaker than the buying pressure. So that is good news there. When it comes to XRP, guys, let's bring up the XRP chart here. XRP has done very well over the last few days. So I'm going to accept that XRP has gone down significantly here since this high. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. We are down about 4.2% since the high that we saw back on just yesterday, on Saturday in the morning. So it's okay, guys. Par for the course. Remember, this is all in flux. Crypto holders are about to be financially blessed. This coming from Nick Crypto Crusader here. Remember that you need to take profits or the market will. Always keep a bag for the future, but taking profits should always be the focus. Yes, And you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. This is the exact mantra I follow here. Take profits, guys. Enjoy your life. Keep some for the long term. This is where I'm outlining my strategy, basically showing my Patreon subscribers where I'm going to be selling, keeping my portfolio transparent, telling you guys exactly what I bought, showing you guys even a couple of years ago what I was buying, where I'm going to be selling at, all my legacy coins in the $15,000 plus portfolio. We're trying to pinpoint the top. So you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel if that's something you're interested in. It is only $5 a month. I've rolled back prices to old school prices, but you got to subscribe and stay subscribed to lock in. So thanks so much to Nick, Crypto Crusader, Coins Kid here, and Lark Davis for mentioning this too. Part of understanding where we sit in this particular cycle is knowing where we're going to be going in the future. And, Vivek Sen here saying it is happening. Tighten your seatbelts. So he happened to see this headline here. Trump's going to take over the Fed. Bitcoin and crypto brace for serious price shock. So this coming from Forbes. Donald Trump's war of words against the Federal Reserve and its chair Jerome Powell have shocked Bitcoin, crypto, and stock markets this year. The Bitcoin price has surged alongside gold for an all-time high. That's the other thing. Bitcoin, gold, stocks. Let me just interrupt for a second. Bitcoin, gold, and stocks have all gone up in tandem, and we generally don't see that. Let me just show you guys the gold price here, and I'm going to throw that on the weekly. Let's just throw it on the weekly. So gold on the weekly. Let's look at the S&P 500 on the weekly. That is up as well. Let's look at Bitcoin on the weekly. That is up as well, generally speaking, right? We are seeing new highs. So all these asset classes are up. And now as Tesla billionaire Elon Musk issues a stark $37 trillion warning, a close ally of Trump has predicted the president will take over the Fed, something that could upend the global financial order and cause chaos for the Bitcoin price, crypto, and stock market. So now we're getting a bit of fear mongering here, I think, from this publication. Trump was furious at Powell in the first term for jacking up interest rates for no particular reason. This coming from Larry Kudlow, a close ally of Trump who was top advisor in the White House. It's sort of a sad tale. If it weren't such serious business, it reads comedically to some extent, people yelling at each other. But look, the bottom line is President Donald Trump's going to take the Fed over as he should. So that is the prediction here. Going to take whether it's figuratively or literally is still yet to be determined, I guess. But essentially, I mean, we're still in that same space where that same place where Powell is just refusing to cut interest rates. And guys, remember, cutting interest rates essentially leads to borrowing cheap money. That means retail can finally get into the crypto market. If more people are borrowing cheap money, this means there are risk on assets are going to go up because people are just going to invest. This is how it generally goes, and this is what we've seen in the past. Luckily, though, investment giants are keeping a keen eye on cryptocurrency investment products like Capital Group. Guys, they've just put a $1 billion bet on Bitcoin treasuries, and that is ballooning to $6 billion. So now the money is really coming in. Let me just explain this. Okay, so Capital Group, they're a 94-year-old mutual fund powerhouse known for their conservative investment approach. So that is the setup here. Now they've grown their $1 billion position in Bitcoin-related stocks to more than $6 billion. So it's gone up fivefold. Mark Casey, a portfolio manager with 25 years at Capital Group, led the firm's move into Bitcoin. Casey, who describes his investment style as shaped by Benjamin Graham and Warren Buffett, has become an advocate for Bitcoin, according to a Sunday report by the Wall Street Journal. He says, "I just love Bitcoin. I think it is so interesting." He called Bitcoin one of the coolest things that was ever created by people. And so now Capital Group, guys, they've been in business for 94 years. They have upped their Bitcoin ante through Bitcoin-related products like MicroStrategies, Mara Holdings, XXI, Bitcoin Standard Treasury Company, a company called Bullish, Metaplanet, etc. And so here are all the companies that they're invested in that are linked to Bitcoin. So I will link this in the description of the video if you guys want to read further. I think it is just important to note where these big companies stand when it comes to crypto investments. And of course, Bitcoin has been the first one. Other companies, we've talked about other companies over the last few months that are getting into XRP treasuries. So some of these companies, they're looking outside the box. They're realizing, okay, Bitcoin is not the only thing. There are going to be other cryptocurrencies that solve problems. And guys, that is kind of the key. Which cryptocurrencies are going to solve the problems the best, and which cryptocurrencies are going to have the most value down the road? Well, of course, for us XRP holders, we love XRP for various different reasons. There are going to be a handful of others. And so, the approach that I'm going to be taking for the next cycle, I think, might be a little different. We got to get through this cycle first, though. Let's pinpoint the top, cash out at the highs, and don't look back. Do you guys find it a little curious that Coinbase is shedding XRP? 6 cold wallets remaining at 16.5 million XRP each. That is not a lot. XRP liquidity came with this statistic here. Coinbase cold wallet tracker. Okay, 52 Coinbase cold wallets in total. 10 have about 26.8 million, whereas 42 have about 16.8 million. That is an estimation of about 970 million XRP total. Now, that's less than 1% of the entire supply. Considering how big Coinbase is, it doesn't seem like a lot to me. And he just said down here, I'm just tracking these because last week we were at 60. Just notice they are depleting quickly. What it looks like we're seeing here is that Coinbase cold wallets drained 28 million to Coinbase 7, which are now at 1.7 million or so. Then we are seeing new wallets activated by Coinbase, 4,700, in which 11 million XRP are being deposited to. What these wallets end up doing with the 11 million can provide some clues, but we don't have any more information on that. We are just seeing Coinbase depleting their stashes. So what could it mean, guys? What could it mean? And here it looks as though he's adding to this tweet thread here from various different dates, starting on June the 12th. So moving our way up through July. And as you guys can see here, the wallets have been depleting over time. So that is an interesting tracking metric and tracking device here coming from XRP liquidity. Noticing Coinbase's overall stash of XRP is depleting. I think, if we do have a supply shock of XRP, the price of XRP is going to go through the roof. Even Uphold is saying XRP just hit $1,000. What are you tweeting? And, this is not the first time they tweeted this. First time was back in September 2020. And September 2024, they retweeted this out. Now it is September 13th, 2025. It looks like they're doing it on a yearly schedule. Things that make you go, why on the 13th of September? That's interesting. Yeah, interesting. I don't know why they're doing this, but it does certainly pique my interest. If we look at where the world is going, central bank digital currencies. I mean, the US, the new administration is against CBDCs. Tom Emmer just recently came out saying any central bank digital currency that is not open, permissionless, and private like cash is nothing more than a surveillance tool. And this is why the Trump administration is moving towards stablecoins. They are not going to be used as that surveillance tool that some countries are pushing for. Earlier this week, the House passed the NDAA, which included our bill to prohibit the development of a CBDC. It is time for the Senate to do its job and permanently ban CBDCs. So this is the sentiment coming from House Majority Whip Tom Emmer, and it could get dicey. I mean, look at what Martin Armstrong is saying here. Now, I've done videos on Martin Armstrong in the past. If you check out the Martin Armstrong documentary, this guy is super, super fascinating if you don't know anything about him. This is an interesting perspective coming from Crypto Insight UK. Now, looking towards Europe specifically, but generally, around the world, think about the tokenization push that we're seeing now for cryptocurrencies and, everything being tokenized on the blockchain. Once everything is tokenized on the blockchain, they, and I mean the powers that be, they're going to have more control over a lot of things. Through this discussion, he suggests that NATO are the provocateurs and want war with Russia so that they can enable capital controls and use the excuse of war to divert attention from the sovereign debt issues and essentially, listen to this, take pensions, control their country's capital, etc.
You see the U.S. stock market going up, you see the dollar going up, and you see gold going up. All three, all right? The gold bugs would always say, oh no, only gold goes up, everything else crashes, all this stuff. They don't understand what's happening. The fact that all three are rising is showing you capital flight from Europe. The smart money knows. We have a lot of the major institutions there. Warn them, you better get your gold out of there. Because when that first bullet is shot, the EU is desperate. And what they were going to do is put in capital controls. That's what the whole central bank digital currency is about. You have Spain that just said that you can't take out, more than 3,000 euros out of your account without government permission. So all of this is the same thing. If you look at World War I, what did they do? They shut down all the European stock markets, so you couldn't sell anything. This is standard. So we're not talking about my opinion here. We're talking about facts. Okay. And this is what governments always do. Even in the American Civil War, Abraham Lincoln forbid anybody from paying any debts owed to the South. I mean, it's standard. This is what you do. So I would be very careful. You definitely want to have something outside of the EU at this stage in the game, because the more desperate they get, then trust me, they're going to put clamps down, and it's going to be damn hard to get anything out of Europe. So you have to understand this is the way things simply function. When you go into war, they put all kinds of rationing on there, capital controls, you name it.
Yeah, or everything will become digital.
It's a scary prospect. And I mean, he's talking about Europe specifically. For those of you guys who do not know what capital controls are, just to reiterate here, capital controls are government-imposed restrictions or regulations on the movement of capital in and out of a country's economy. So essentially seizing your assets. These measures, such as transaction taxes, volume limits, or outright prohibition, are designed to maintain economic stability, prevent capital flight, manage exchange rate volatility, and protect foreign reserves during periods of financial stress. So Martin Armstrong has a great track record of predicting, socioeconomic and financial outcomes based on his Socrates model. Again, I urge you guys to do some research on him if you don't know who Martin Armstrong is. So guys, it's great to see politicians like Tom Emmer saying, we got to ban these CBDCs. This is a step in the right direction. I do worry for countries in Europe and other countries around the world. And part of this is because we are moving onto DLT and blockchain technology for tokenizing everything. Now, on the one hand, I talk about DLT technology, I talk about Ripple, I talk about the tokenization and how valuable XRP will become because everything's going to be tokenized on the blockchain. And so it's a double-edged sword, and I've always maintained it is a double-edged sword. It's great for us because our value, what we're invested in, is going to go up. But at the same time, guys, this is going to give government more control, and they could impose capital controls a lot easier if, in fact, all our assets are being digitized on the blockchain. So, in a spec market, we are going to see, crypto prices do what they do. And, in a lot of ways, I kind of almost feel like I wish there was no real world utility, because the spec market, very predictable in certain ways. If we do, in fact, stay in a spec market, prices won't be as high. $5 to $7 predicts Adam Stokes here. So he's an analyst at Cryptoland. This is his website here. And it's basically just a website where you can go and check out all things crypto. He also has the Atom Stake Pool. Check that out. What is that? The Atom Stake Pool has been wound up as it was no longer sustainable with extensive updates and back required. Okay, so it's no longer available there, but it was staking ADA, I do believe. Anyway, he's a crypto guy. He's got an opinion on XRP price. He is invested in XRP, and here's what he had to say. Listen to this.
Ethereum's going to $10,000. XRP, I know the XRP army wants it to go to $500 to $10,000. There's just not enough money on planet Earth for that. I've got a lot of XRP. I would be happy for XRP to be $10,000 each.
Yeah, right.
That number's just... We'll bring it down to Earth. XRP is going to, I think, $4 easily. 5 to 7 is my prediction.
So is this a realistic prediction, guys? $5 to $7. And of course, he's talking about a speculative run. The fact that we still have not seen real-world utility as of yet. Here, let me bring up the XRP chart again. There's been a lot to suggest that, these types of structures are going to continue in the near term just because, we don't have any real indication of real-world utility. That could still change, though. I mean, from the former high up here, we did, if I throw Fibonacci on there, we are now bouncing around former all-time high, $1.96, and we're flirting with the 1.618 up near a new high. He says $4, no problem. So what he's suggesting is that we're probably going to pierce the 2.618. But then, guys, where are we going to go from there? 3.618. The 4.236 brings us up to about $7 per coin. So, these are the basic elements we need to predict a price for XRP that makes sense in terms of technical analysis. Now, again, that could in fact still change. I'm happy we're seeing XRP price bounce around in these levels, nothing out of the ordinary for now. So that is positive news for me. Whatever happens, guys, we have to be ready for it. And for more information on how I'm preparing, follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I also just wanted to quickly mention that I have the Working Money Channel merch store. If you guys are interested in, I don't know, maybe purchasing some Working Money Channel merch, I got some Bearable Guy stuff there, XRP stuff, and Working Money Channel merchandise. Check it out. Link is in the description. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.